products from any Massey Motors office or authorized dealer, get creative and snap a photo showing us just how much you love Shell lubricants and upload your photo onto Facebook or Instagram using the hashtag Shell14GiftsOfLove and tag Massey Motors GY. Entries with the most likes wins. Promotion ends February 14th, 2022. Happy Valentine's Day from Shell Lubricants, driven by Massey Motors.
Edinburgh Napier University, the #1 modern university in Scotland, is holding an information session at the Essequibo Room, Pegasus Hotel Inn, on February 17 from 6:30 to 8 p.m., intended for the upcoming May intake. Edinburgh Napier University's programs are 100% online, 100% flexible, and 100% relevant. Online programs include the MBA with over 12 streams and a range of specialist Master of Science and bachelor degree programs. Visit www.seidegrees.com to make a reservation. That's www.seidegrees.com.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening, my name is Amrita Koshal and this is your evening newscast. Without further ado, let's get to the news in detail. The government of Guyana has once again selected ExxonMobil's client Bayphase Limited to review the field development plans for the Yellowtail project. Bayphase, which is headquartered in the United Kingdom, won with a bid totaling $423,360. The contract for the consultancy was awarded to Bayphase on January 21st, and MPTAB had disclosed the list of interested bidders on January 20th. We had reported that Bayphase is a well-known client of ExxonMobil. In fact, Bayphase also works for Exxon's subcontractors, which include Schlumberger and Technip FMC. It was on January 8th last that Kaieteur published the government's request for financial and technical proposals from qualified firms to review the Yellowtail Field Development Plan. Moving on, yesterday, the government, using its one-seat majority in the Committee of Supply, considering the $552.9 billion estimates of expenditure for this year, approved $20.8 billion allocated for the much-vaunted Gas-to-Shore project, but at the end of the process, parliamentarians and Guyanese were left none the wiser on the project, its source of funding, whether the oil revenues were being used, or even its scope. This since Prime Minister Mark Phillips was woefully unprepared for the line of questioning on what is Guyana's single largest project in its history. He has since committed to laying over the requested information on the project to the House at some point in the future, and additionally bluntly refused to provide any answers on whether the project was being funded using the Natural Resources Fund. According to the Prime Minister, the $20.8 billion was for Phase 1 of the gas-fired electricity plant to be constructed at Wales. Asking for the spending of the $20.8 billion to be disaggregated, such as what amounts would be used for land clearance, Shadow Minister with responsibility for the oil and gas sector, AFC's David Patterson, was told bluntly the disaggregation will be submitted to the House in the future. And on that note, we now tell you, preceded by at least one opposition member of parliament getting confused with the figures and another being schooled on how to read a table of figures outlined in the budget estimates, members of parliament yesterday approved some $32 million for the office of the leader of the opposition. Even it was revealed that the National Assembly plans on spending $7 million to purchase a photocopying machine. Added to this, the House remained unclear as to whether local government elections will be held this year, despite the utterances of the substantive minister for the portfolio. With just 10 minutes to query the allocations, the 65 members of the House approved the allocations for the various constitutional agencies, with members of the public learning in the process about the generosity of the Ministry of Finance by allocating for some agencies more money than had been requested. Moving on, Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai announced that there will be no National Tushaus Council conference this year, even as she accused some Amerindian leaders of flouting the gazetted COVID-19 guidelines and refusing to be vaccinated. There is no budgetary allocation for the annual meeting, the DPI reported, based on revelations during the examination of the estimates for the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs on Monday evening. Minister Sukai had noted previously that many leaders refused to be vaccinated despite the growing number of positive cases and the guidance of health experts that vaccination is the best way to overcome the pandemic. Time check for you, 19 hours 7. We will return with more news for you shortly after the break.
Nothing in life is free, but the MyDigiCell app is. You don't need to be on a data plan to use the app. You can conveniently chat with Ruby or an agent for help. Check your account balance, activate a Prime bundle, or gift it to a friend. Send credit. Check the Georgetown and Burpees Bridge schedules. Activate a roaming plan. Play Shake to Win for cool prizes. So don't worry about a data plan, buddy. Download the MyDigiCell app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store today. Digicel, better together.
And now back with more news in detail. Olympian and national table tennis champion Chelsea Edgehill and national volleyball player Christoph Shepard are among 3 persons injured in an accident that occurred at Mandela Avenue, just off of Homestretch Avenue. Another occupant, Nakasia Lewis, received minor injuries when a truck collided with the car they were in around 9 p.m. on Monday. Shepard, the driver of the car, received serious injuries and is now a patient of the ICU at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Edgehill and Lewis were discharged after being treated for minor injuries. And we now tell you a 28-year-old carpenter identified as Ramesh Ramphul of 142 Britannia Village, West Coast Berbice, lost his life around 17 hours after he backflipped into a canal during a swimming date with his girlfriend. It was reported that said afternoon, Ramphul and his girlfriend Rochelle Craig had gone to the canal for a swimming date, and while having fun, Ramphul decided to do a backflip plunge into the canal but never resurfaced. Craig then panicked and ran to inform his family members who lived about a mile away. They returned with her and began searching in the canal and in the same area where he had made the plunge. His lifeless body was removed and the police were alerted. My name is Amrita Kaushal, and we've come to the end of your nightly newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.